Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Nobody Likes Onions podcast radio show. I don't know what it is anymore. I'm really confused by labels. This show's pronouns are it, that. So, if you just want to be on the right side of history and really rack it up with us here, please nail that. We're going to be looking into all of Hunter Biden's laptops today. No one's talking about this. This guy's up to some no good stuff. But we're the only ones diving into it. CNN, really not interested. Hi, call on in. Just try to guess the number where I'll be answering. I think Roy wanted to call in this show, maybe. I don't know why. He's taking a break from his life. But whatever. That's fine. Welcome to the thing, everybody. I got to admit, good to be back sitting in a room where I know I'm safe, where no one's going to give me the Rona, scoot up on me with that shit. I could do without it. I will tell you that. I have toured for a month. I have been around this great country of ours, and it's frightening out there. I was called a faggot several times for wearing a mask. And they did. They bullied me into not wearing it. I took it off. I was like, you know what? Fair point. And I took that guy's penis out of the back of my throat and took my mask off. Lesson learned. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Welcome back, everybody. I don't really have an agenda for today. I thought we'd just talk through some things, let you know where I'm at, let you know kind of what we're doing here, floating. I will tell you this. I've resigned there's nothing else on my calendar. I think I might be done with stand-up comedy. I'm over it. It's not fun anymore. It's not good. No one's having a good time out there. The comics that I did work with who were like into it and were like, this is fucking cool to be back. No. You don't have much going on. I'll tell you that. If you think like that's fun to be out there doing, let me just tell you something. If you haven't ordered your bullets and your guns, stock up. That's all I can tell you. Holy shit, man. Are we insane? And just going around the country and really kind of getting out. Now look, I was in a bubble, like literally like not going out. I hadn't seen, Roy was the first friend I had seen face to face in 6 months. So I had to really ease out of my shell. I did go to a couple bars, relax, take the mask off, have some fun. I did get COVID tested while I was gone. I was still really paranoid about it. So I did get some COVID tests done. All clear. Been home for a week now. All clear. Apologies for taking so long to just get geared up and come back in here and do some more stuff. But now that I am here, I will be doing some more stuff. With one more interruption in service that I can foresee coming, which only is because of a move. So we're going to get out of here, hopefully. If you heard the last a couple shows ago, while I was gone, I did one with Roy, Landry, and Scott Schaefer, another comic who'd never been on the show before. But if you heard the show with Roy, you'll know that I was in escrow on a house. The inspection came back, disaster. Been back for a week now looking at houses. Thought the market might be better a little bit, when I got back here, but oh God, it's not good. It just keeps getting more and more expensive. And what you get for your budget is, not great. Now, just to catch you up, everybody's familiar with my wife, Kathleen. Her daughters, Sasha and Malia, our boy Jacob. We are proud to announce we just had another child. And we don't want to, label this, we're very woke now. And we just call it a theyby, it's a theyby. We don't want to really get into gender or whatever. We dress it in tinfoil, and we dress them in tinfoil, And they're just great, you know. And we don't even actually, when we wipe it and clean its genitalia, we don't even look. We really just kind of eyes up, float around, wipe the baby. Also, I don't know pedophile rules now. You know, I don't know if you can get in trouble for like changing a baby without its consent. You know, and you got to wait until they're 2 until they can tell you that they want you to scrape out the shit out of their asshole like dried caulk. So really confusing. I'm thinking about just putting it in the garbage disposal. Either way, you know, good to be back. Good to have a baby and be part of the problem. It's fucking, it is fucking on with this election and stuff, huh? Yeah, really, I'll tell you this. Well, we got so much to get into. Long story short, I've been around looking at houses for a week in Las Vegas. Yesterday, put in another offer on another house. Didn't think. Look, I was looking around 325 to 350 high end, 350,000 for a house, you know. And this one comes up. It's 360. And my real estate agent tells me that it already has offers over asking price. So if I want this one, and look, here's the deal. Every house has you're making compromises on. And you can either get like a newer house that's built in the 2000s and maybe a little stylistically out of date, or there's a lot of flippers going through Vegas right now, like fixing up old houses, 70s and 80s houses. So you're getting a house that looks like it's handed to you out of, you know, HGTV. So I think you get more for your money by going with a little older house. Sometimes these older houses, you got to replace the windows, get some more efficient windows. You might have to redo some insulation, especially up in the attic. Vegas is fucking brutal, hot, you know. And yeah, so I found this house. It's really great. Slightly smaller than this one, but I don't think you guys understand. You can't possibly understand from the camera angles here how much space I have for the studio. We're using 20% of the space I have for this desk. There's like more, and another room more. So anything I do moving on from this space will be kind of a downgrade. Like, there's no way I'll ever have this much space. Like, you know, one day if I'm ever fucking rich. So this house is 360. So I had to offer over 360 for it if I wanted to try to get it. I don't believe you. Show us the floor plans. Yeah. I don't know if let me see if I can bring up a webcam. That'll even do it justice. Now look, this isn't, oh fuck, that's not even working. Hold on. Where is that webcam? I see it, but I don't know where it is. It's pointing at something. We'll see. Hold on. What? Like, look at this guy. Here's what I'm looking at. Like, this is a webcam somewhere in here, but I don't know where it is. Can you even hear me while the shot's on? Yeah, okay. But there's a pool. Yeah. Hold on. Where is this camera? Oh, this? Okay, I got it. I found it. Okay, so this is like, oh, fuck. What happened? Fucking, you'll never get it. And now it's just frozen. I don't know what's happened. When I found the camera, it locked up. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Why am I trying to prove something to Moody? This is like when Bill Burr and Allie Breen made me go dig my fucking master's degrees out of the closet. Prove it, fatty. Oh, God. So this is an older house. It's completely redone. It looks so nice. The front is great. It has a unique look to it. It's a corner lot, big lot. I like that. Limited neighbors. The backyard's pretty private. I can also buy cameras with the accelerometer that switches them off if I ever got busted. If that was ever like a big scandal, fuck, Moody, you got me. You got me hard. I will admit it. When you win, baby. Calling me out. Keep me honest. On my toes. No, so it's nice. It's like a nice, and when you walk in, it's just stunning. Open floor plan, all the shit, the slate, not slate. What do you call what are the countertops everybody does now? Quartz, the quartz countertops. The island, I think, has marble countertops, all the brand new soft close, shaker style cabinets, the antiqued, farmhouse modern lighting. This thing is like fucking sick. And it's not the one I posted, by the way, on I've been asking people what they think of houses on NL Onions on Instagram stories. I've been asking people what they like about houses. It's none of those. This is a different one I found. And yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. It's about 40 grand over what I wanted to spend on a house. But you make concessions. You got to like pick things. It's got big bedrooms because it's older. This is the other problem with new construction. I'll tell you what they love to do. They give you these 10 foot by 10 foot bedrooms, and it just doesn't work for me. And also buying a house, I kind of would like something with a studio area that kind of works with COVID or other pandemic type situations in mind. I like having people come in, but I like the idea of maybe having that area separate from the main house, So God forbid you want Kool-Aid sitting on your main toilet. You know what I mean? Like, we have to eat here. I eat off my toilets. The point is, oh, thanks for the subscription, man. That means a whole lot to some people, I'm sure. Hi, Patrick. Good to see you're doing better. Yeah, I've done great. I've been doing really great. Thank you so much for all your loves. No, but I will tell you this. It really works well. The place is great and nice. There's some major issues. The last one I abandoned when it got inspected because it was foundation issues, water damage, mold, potential mold, electrical not up to code, yada yada yada. And there's a problem a lot of times with these like guys who come in and flip a house. They really know how to put lipstick on a pig. You know what I mean? I got to turn this air conditioning out. This is another problem like with this fucking house, and it's getting into late-ish October, and it's still fucking hot here. And again, this back room, no air conditioning. I cannot wait to get the fuck out. Long story short, the offer gets accepted. So now we're in like a due diligence period. So I got to get an inspection. The problem is this house doesn't have gas. This is Patrick's audition for Property Brothers. Now I'm just letting you know, like, because this is a crazy process. Like I haven't done this in 15 years. And if you own a house, you're probably going like, yeah, we know. But, if you own a house and you're somebody like Moody, it's like, no, we're talking about a real house, not just an old wooden shoe that you tipped over to live in. I'm just kidding. It's not Moody's fault. It's New Zealand. Their standards a lot lower. But Moody's house is an example of this. I think that's actually a pretty old house, right, Moody? And like, so imagine like if you came into that house and like made it like, super. And I'm not making fun of it. Look, Moody owns a house. Okay, he's better than most of the people in here. I literally know people who that house is 1990. Burn it. That's what they were doing in 1990. In New Zealand, get the fuck out of here. That thing looks like a 1968 home. But I guess you swoop in, you get it, and you renovate it. Like if you want to renovate it, you will definitely make money on it. You can also, give yourself equity by fixing up the house. Who knows? I don't know if you have like a PMI, but you can get rid of the PMI by fixing the house up. So that's the options is like buy a cheaper house that you want to do some work on or go balls to the wall. This is 40 grand over the top. I wanted to, we're getting into encroaching on $500,000 fucking dollars. Thank God the US dollar is not worth anything, right guys? We're whitewashing the walls, redoing the floors, completely revamped the yard. The Lockwood style ages pretty quickly. Yeah. So yeah, this one's just done. It's kind of turnkey, ready to go. fully open concept, all this stuff. And then it has a den or another kind of like living room, family room. And it's cool. It's like a 3-story or tri-level where you like, garage, this den, laundry room, bathroom is like downstairs. And then the next level up is like all open living room, kitchen, family room, just wide open. And then upstairs are bedrooms and big bedrooms, nice bedrooms, 2 more bathrooms. So it's like, it's good. And what I want to do is close off the den, family room, bonus room area downstairs. This is a really nice room. It's got a whole wall of like of cool stone work, not like shitty brick, like modern white, like shiny, whatever the fuck. Like they made like a feature wall out of this fucking thing. White fireplace with the same stone. A built-in bar with cabinets and a sink and everything in the room. Sliding glass doors out to the backyard. Big pool, hot tub, grass areas, paved areas. Really nice backyard. Pretty private. Nobody really looking into it. Walls around. Love a podcast. Love a fortress. But you'll still be in New Zealand. I think my house costs around the same as yours. Yeah, right. I mean, so it's like, but you got it a while ago. And I don't know the real estate market. Look, everything here is fucking nuts right now. This house last year would have been 100,000 less, 150,000 less. Everyone is leaving California. People are really waking up to the fact that Democrats are ruining the country. Like it is. You've never seen more people just flee the bluest state. Like what a failed experiment California has been in liberal rule. So everyone's just the fuck out of there. So cities like Denver, Las Vegas, Salt Lake, Phoenix, all these cities kind of adjacent to California down the side, they're getting flooded, and they're all rich people who are leaving. And, instantly these people are going to realize a 13% increase in income based off state and city taxes. Just moving to a city that doesn't do, Nevada doesn't tax anything. I woke up to this shit, 3 years ago when I was leaving New York, and the plan was to go back to California. And then you look at California and you're just like, why the fuck would you ever? Cost of living super high. Cost of real estate super high. City and state have proven nothing but ineffective with any budget. I think it's a $3 trillion budget that California has. It's like the 4th biggest economy in the world or something. It's just like, what are you doing? And I don't know if you've been recently, and thank God I don't live there anymore, but my friends who live there just talk about the homeless seas of it. It's homeless people and people throwing Molotov cocktails at cop cars. Like it's just fucking Escape from LA meets Joe versus the volcano. I don't know what movie it is. The point is, it sounds like a fucking nightmare. It sounds like a fucking nightmare. And no wonder everyone's leaving. So all the markets here for homes are just being held up not artificially, but by people who don't mind paying. You come over here, you got a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house for $350,000, $400,000. In California, that's $1.5 million in the Valley. They don't mind throwing an extra $100,000 at it to get it. And so these flippers are making a shit ton of money. The average house price in Auckland is 1 million New Zealand dollars. Right. What's that in Monopoly money? 660 UK or 660K USD. Sure. I just it's just time. You gotta fucking get something, and I'm fully prepared for this house to be worth 50,000-70,000 less next year. But the interest rate, like 2.25% interest rate right now. It's like, what the fuck? So I'll pay less for this place, less than I pay for this place. And, once the kids are old enough to work, they start really we get them out there hammering and nailing, doing some handyman stuff. It'll all pay for itself. Once our baby is old enough to do grout, we'll become flippers. And we'll be the first family of flippers on HGTV. It'll be a whole new show, like the Kardashians meets the Property Brothers. So they accepted this offer yesterday. They come back. Here's the problem. They said that gas hasn't been run to this house in 5 years. The last people didn't pay their bill. The gas company came out and removed the gas meter. Your electric company will do this too. Like if you don't pay your bill, they'll either come lock your meter or they can come out and actually take the meter, the glass thing that's on your wall. Like they can pull that out, which kind of like breaks the flow of gas or electricity to your house. So this house has an electric range, an electric water heater, hookup for an electric dryer. I have a gas dryer. I'd prefer a gas water heater, and I'd prefer a gas range. Like anybody who's a cook doesn't want to be seen dead cooking on one of those glass top, electric top ranges. That is, why don't you just put in your Instagram, you don't know what you're doing, okay? So I want to make sure gas can be run. They're like, oh, it's going to take 3 months to get a meter put in there. Because, look, there's not been gas there. I imagine all the lines have to be inspected. All this stuff has to be re-hooked up. Furthermore, they didn't even leave the hookups there for all this gas stuff. So I don't know if it's behind the wall. I don't know if they've ripped it out completely. I don't know what's going on. But this is kind of a deal breaker. It's got to have gas. And that might sound crazy, but it's got to have gas. It has a gas furnace that's not hooked up because there's no gas to the house. The spa and pool heater are gas, so they're not hooked up and haven't been run. So yeah, I mean, there's I need to see that stuff working. The pool is also drained a little bit and missing some of the tiles. It's an older pool. It clearly has just been replastered or whatever, but there's some tiles missing, and the pool level is low and looks like it hasn't been run in a while. There's a lot of stuff in the clean outs, in the skimmers. And it just needs to be I need to see it running, paying top dollar for this fucking thing, And I can hear my real estate agent get a little every house has problems. And it's right, but I'm paying super, super tip top of the budget for this thing. And, I want to be you take possession of a house and can't get the pool to work. Even filling up a pool is $500 in water. So draining a pool, having it, every time you drain a pool, there's a danger of it fucking popping or floating loose, coming loose out of the fucking ground. Cause you don't realize how much of the water is holding that thing into the fucking ground, the weight of that. So you just don't want it. You don't want the problem. A pool can cost 30 fucking grand to redo or have reinstalled if there's serious issues with it. I don't need any of that stuff. I'm looking to have pool parties starting immediately. It's a heated pool. We're going through the winter. I'll be doing a lot of live podcasts from the pool. So, get used to it. But yeah, a lot of work to do, a lot of exciting stuff, but the studio should be dope. The studio will be a similarly big space, maybe bigger than this room. Not the two rooms combined, but bigger than this room. Super nice, good light, bar in it, fireplace in it. We're going to do something totally new for the look of the studio. Gone is all the square foam. Too many people doing that these days. I remember when we started doing all the foam walls and the colored lights and stuff, it next level shit. Everyone started copying that stuff. I'm not saying we're the first to do it, obviously, but Now when like every motherfucker Twitch streamer and dork can recreate this at home, like, nope, we have to move on to the next level. And I'm looking for some sort of, like, I'm going to have a guy come in and do some sort of feature wall. I want wood, water, metal, light. That's what I want to craft a space with. Okay? It's going to be great. You're going to love it. Who are we voting for, America? Who will win this election? I have to report back to you that I don't know, and I don't think anybody does, but do not be surprised when Trump wins. I'm going to tell you that. Having just driven wood, water, metal, light, Patrick trying to summon Captain Planet with his new studio. Yeah. Look, that's just what it is. Having driven, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, and Arkansas, multiple times in the past month, I'm letting you know right now that do not be surprised. And, don't think everybody thinks black people and Mexicans are voting for Biden. Get out of town. They're not. They're lying to you. Everyone, do you understand? Let me talk to the left, the dumb, and it's not liberals. I think it's the left. Liberal means something completely fucking different. It's the crazy, nutty left. No one is talking about Hunter Biden's laptops. It's funny because it's true. Left means something completely different in the U.S. Yeah, look, all these labels are confusing by design. You need to understand that. Like, this system is so fucked. And I'm telling you, 4 months ago, I was hard voting for Biden. Right now, I think I'm in the I don't care to vote category. But I'm swiftly getting pushed into the vote for Trump category. Moody says, your right is batshit crazy and corrupt everywhere else. Your left means right everywhere else. Hold on. Your right is batshit crazy and corrupt everywhere else. Your left means right everywhere. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but I have to wonder. I have to wonder how much you're getting. Like, don't be. Let's understand one thing. The media on both sides of it, and especially if you're in a fucking other country, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You just read headlines. You just get fed, your soup of the day by the fucking algorithm. Okay? So let's not act like you know what's going on. Basically, you have a choice between the right and the batshit crazy super far right. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, Moody, but I appreciate if you have strokes in another chat room, okay? We're trying to have a real productive conversation over here. You have to understand that, like, institutionally, the media and the people in power before Trump got there hate Donald Trump. Like, absolutely. Can we get Curran to call in? I'd love to. Yeah. I really want to hang out with Madden Man, a proud boy. But the same reason I've ranted at Curran about, his proud boy trolling alt-right persona, which I don't even think he's alt-right, but that's what he likes to convey by wearing MAGA hats and having guns in the background of every interview he does for OAN. We Donald Trump, whatever he does, gets more shit for it. And all the assumptions about anything he does are the worst thing possible. All the time, every time. So, like you can almost dive into anything anybody says they hate Trump about, and it's patently not true. There's a lot of we live in a world where it's mostly emotions. It's mostly outrage and groupthink. Bernie would be in our center left party. Yeah, Bernie's a Jew here. So we don't really talk to that guy. Trump is further right than any politician here. Something most of Europe knows how to do liberalism reasonably well. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it's a fine line, I think, between necessary liberalism and social, what most people think socialism is. But the two-party system is what's majorly fucked in our country. And I got to tell you, I don't think Biden is all there, clearly. And the fact that all you motherfuckers are into Biden, the fact that all you motherfuckers are into Kamala, whatever her name is, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just hard to know. I think it's Kamala. I don't know. The point is, you're all eating the cake. You're all taking the blue pill. And it's hard to not, This is why, when people get mad at the polls, when Trump was supposed to win, or Hillary was supposed to win Michigan by 11 points, and Trump wins by 2, and you're like, how could the poll have been off 13%? It's because you motherfuckers have made it impossible to openly have a different opinion. You understand that, when a man walks into a Baskin Robbins with a MAGA hat, and the 17-year-old behind the counter, who's a woke snowflake, $8 an hour employee, falls to their knees screaming, "Get out, get out, get out, fascist, racist, get out," at a guy who's just wearing a hat and wants some ice cream. Oh, he likes the other guy. He likes the guy you don't like, But that used to just be okay. It used to just be okay to vote for a different guy than another person. You've made it where, everybody's MAGA hats are in their glove box now. You've made it where, if you ask somebody in a mall outside of Wetzel's Pretzels who they're voting for with a clipboard loudly enough in earshot of other people, they're going to mumble Biden to you, even though there's no fucking way they would vote for that gray-haired loon. So you've pretty much crafted a world where what you say Trump's done, he's fired everybody and surrounded himself by yes men. It's yeah, but that's what you've done to the world. You'll block anyone with a different opinion. You will literally break down crying if a person with a different opinion walks in the room. I just wanted some chocolate yogurt, and now I've got a child on their knees screaming because I have a MAGA hat on. It's whoa. And not me, I'm just saying. It's a very, very fucking weird thing that's happening. And some people see it and some people don't. And that's fine. The truth is probably really fucking interwoven into the middle of it all. But, if you're just watching the news and taking everything as it is, especially overseas in another country, you're really out of your mind. It's you ask people why they hate Trump, the right does the same though, of course, but nowhere near the scale. I'm telling you right now, the biggest fucking liars, in America are Democrats. The biggest ones right now. I'm telling you. And this has nothing to do with Hunter Biden's emails, you know. But already, you know, like this whole Hunter Biden email thing is like more evidence of conspiracy with China than anything they have on Trump with Russia. And I don't care whether you're red or blue. You need to fucking shake yourself and get a hold of yourself emotionally and stop convincing yourself that he grabs people by the pussy. That has nothing to do with anything. He's an idiot who tweets a lot and says a lot of crazy shit. I do have severe doubts about the man's character. Okay? That is a different thing than being, you know, you for all the fucking left's woke, systemic this, systemic that, problematic this. You're out of your minds. You're out of your fucking minds. The amount of groupthink and lack of actual cognitive reasoning going on the left is bananas. And you might say, Patrick, well, you've just been over in a bunch of red states, so you just had your thinking altered. No. I've been watching. Thanks, Weird Box Woke Day. So yeah, like you at some point, like you have to stop. My biggest issue has always been kind of freedom of speech, and I will tell you right now, the side threatening freedom of speech is the left. The side threatening freedom of speech is the fucking left. Especially when it comes to specific circles of the arts, Hollywood, entertainment, academia, the media, these fucking areas. Like, dear God, if you don't think the rudder is in the water hard left in all those fucking arenas, you're out of your mind. I just know the libs are evil. Yeah, it's not even evil. It all roots back to selfishness. It all roots back to what's good for me. If you don't think that the side that most people think Black Lives Matter's on and all this shit, like, and by the way, if you're out at Black Lives Matter protests, you're a fucking animal. Get the fuck out. It's all fucking white kids. You know what I mean? You're fucking nightmares. Oh, God. It's just like, I'm telling you, you're blinded. And I say the same thing about the right with the proud. Like, same thing I've said to Steve Kern for a fucking year. Anybody in any of these groups, you're too into it. You're too into stuff. And that means you probably have no idea what's going on. I'm going to just say that. Like, you really probably don't. If you can be swept up into Black Lives Matter or Proud Boys or Antifa or Tea Parties, you know what I mean? Like, you're out of your mind. If you're posting stuff, dear God, if you're sharing like, Trump memes, you're out of your mind. If you're sharing like police shot an unarmed boy and he didn't even do anything, you're out of your mind. You're literally being used, and wake the fuck up. I want everybody before they post about a kid being shot by the police. I want you to use your head for 1 second and just take at face value what the left tells you is happening, and then think about it. Oh yeah, no, police around the country are grabbing kids they see who are black and shooting them like that. Like, oh, are you fucking retarded? Like, are you fucking retarded? Who do you think the cops are? Just like soulless, soldiers walking around doing the bidding of some evil party leader? This isn't Nazi Germany. But Trump is like Hitler. It's like, is he? I don't think you know what that word means. I don't think you know what a Nazi is. I don't think you know what a fascist is. I've been really embarrassed about Trump, man. I've really not enjoyed him as a person. He's a fucking idiot. But, if we're going to elect the left in here and they're just going to bubble wrap the world, make it illegal, you don't think it's going to happen? What happened in Canada? Comics getting sued for saying offensive jokes. People can be literally fined or put in prison for not using the correct pronouns for a person. And let me say this. I'd like to use your correct pronouns. I live in a functional society where I'd like to be treated with respect and treat other people with respect. I would, for the most part, unless your name's Ty Rivera or Trey's Mala. But, I also believe in your right to not. If I think you're a he or a she, and I refuse to call you zip zap zop zimzer, I think you need to fucking get over that. And I know that's controversial, but Patrick, you should have to call me whatever No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. You ever have a dumb friend when you're getting high, look over and be like, I actually know a lot about how to sex zebras. I know a lot about how to sex birds and zebras. You just use your little finger, you stick it up, and you can tell. It's like, no, you don't. And I don't have to recognize your delusion. Patrick, are you saying if somebody doesn't think, if they think they're, a spectrum gender, that you think that's an illusion? I don't know. Haven't really thought about it enough and don't care. You be whatever you want to be, dog. Power to you. You tell me, we're close friends, you tell me what to call you. Happy to do that. You tell me what pronouns you prefer. I'm going to do my goddamn best, and as time goes on, I'll get better. Don't care. But when our neighbor, who grew up in an all-white neighborhood and is 74 years old and yells at brown kids when he sees them in the neighborhood, yells at you, and doesn't do it with your preferred pronoun, instead of writing a blog about it or calling the police or getting the news to come over and do a 14 on your side story, I suggest this. Fucking move on with your life. Everybody. Realize that you live in a world where people are going to upset you. No one, because you ask these fucking idiots what the goal is. Like, what's your goal with Black Lives Matter? We're not going to rest until no cop is racist. It's like, talk to me in 300 years and let me know how that's going. Cops are human beings. Human beings are imperfect. And do you really think it's possible to make all 7+ billion human beings on this planet not racist? Okay. Let's just say this country. Are you out of your mind? There's always going to be somebody up in the Kentucky hills, what are you doing? Who cares? You don't need to go knock on that cabin door to make sure that man knows that gays can get married. You're going to have Ruby Reg on your hands. Like last time, it's the far left's fault that Trump gets in. Right. And it'll be their fault that he fucking wins again. Like, I'm telling you right now. And also, who gives a shit? You're fucking lying to you know what? You're hurting your own mental state by convincing yourself that Trump's attacking you in the country. Move on with your life. Trump's not doing anything to you. He's not. He's not. He's an idiot. I need to prepare myself for these confrontations I might have in the future. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm just telling I watch it. And then I watch it on the other side, too. I'm wearing a mask outside of shows. I finished doing a show, and I do a whole thing on stage about how I don't want to fucking touch people or talk to people. Get away from me. And after shows, I have a woman come up, having a cigarette, broke down, had some cigarettes, having a cigarette outside the show. She thinks it's funny to walk up and cough in my face. I'm feeling droplets. You know what I mean? Do we need to do that? I get it that you don't subscribe to the same level of public safety that I do. That's fine. Do you need to come up and cough in my face? He's making America look like a joke to the rest of the world. I mean, he's making America look like a joke to America. But all these people, I think, who have convinced themselves that we got to get Trump out. We got to get Trump out. We got to get Trump out. Hold up a mirror, man. Hold up a mirror to your side real quick. He's really embarrassing our country, though. Bummer that America looks even worse than it did before. Maybe. Like, look, I don't know. Like, I don't care. I still think America is pretty fucking great. It's embarrassing. But I'd rather live here than most of the places you fucking live, even though you all live in fine places. I'm sorry. I do pick America over New Zealand. I'm sorry. I do pick America over most Scandinavian countries. I do. And for the most part, because Trump doesn't affect me. It really doesn't affect anyone that much. I remember people breaking down crying on election night in 2016, people breaking down crying because they were afraid he was going to repeal legal abortion. And look, we're still arguing about that now, especially with Amy Coney Barrett. That shit goes on and never ends. Do you think that ever ends, you fucking idiots? Like, we'll be fighting about that forever. Meanwhile, it's still legal and will still be legal. Like, get the fuck over it. America is learning life is an Instagram. Maybe he's a wake-up call. Social media is a parasite. It absolutely has ruined it. You know what it is? We weren't ever made to talk to people this much. You had to, like, pick up a phone and dial a fucking friend to get some stimulated conversation. Not now. You know? Not only are your friends able to message you through, you have friends like I do that message you on 13 different services, like, oh, Facebook message, an Instagram message. Now they're sending you a fucking Snapchat. Now they're sending you a fucking TikTok. Like, get the fuck out of here. America is learning. And by the way, everyone who's talking about America, like, when will they fucking learn? You know you're behind us, right? Don't get me wrong. You may have gotten to increment a little bit by seeing what we did and copy it if you're a newer country. Don't get it twisted. Your whole fucking thing will turn like this. I don't know anybody who's really gotten it right and stopped. The whole idea of growing and progressing, a progressive movement, you know, is never stopping. So, you know, talk all the shit you want, but time moves very slowly, and culture and generational shifts, you know, can take a generation or two. Don't act like you're gonna. Why can't they just look at what we're doing? It's like, okay. And don't get me wrong, I've heard about it. I've heard about Norway being the happiest country on earth. It's like, right. But you also have a system. Is it Norway? I don't know which one it is. Like, basically, if you make over 70 grand a year, you almost get taxed 100%, right? So there's really no incentive to work harder than it takes to make 70 grand a year. And the argument is, well, all you need is 70 grand a year to have a happy life. A house, a car, a bicycle, a vacation. You know, you got a lot of social services and people taking care of you. You got a lot of people over there having a good life. And maybe, you know, maybe quantitatively and qualitatively, that is, you know, what cumulative happiness is. I don't know. But over here, it's possible to get a lot happier. And conversely, it's also possible to be a lot worse off. So I don't know what the answer is. But I pick America over those countries. I'm able to separate Trump out. I'm also able to logically look at what Trump's done versus all the fucking screaming about what he's done. Because most of the screaming is wrong. And it's also very, you know, it's very intellectually dishonest and manipulative when it comes to, like, telling, especially minorities. I think people are going to be surprised at how many black people vote for Trump. It's like, it's hard to like be on the side of the people who constantly keep telling you that the white man has held you down and held you down for too long, and you can't do anything without the government. You need assistance. You need programs. You got to have help. It's like, I think they've done a really, really big disservice to black people in this country. Yeah, I'm not positive all black people are aware that like they need you to stay poor and dumb. Like that's the fucking goal, dude. And also it's like, slavery, guys, maybe, and this is controversial, maybe we do just move on, upward and onwards, infinity and beyond. We're going to keep having meetings about what white men did to you forever. But that doesn't seem to like really move the needle. I got yelled at because I vote third party. I should be on their side or I'm on the wrong side. I'm so sick of this jazz. He's useless when it comes to changing much, Trump. But the world is moving on without America. China's becoming the new dominant. That's the other thing too, is like, and I've said this, I think you probably go back in this podcast over 10 years ago. You are crazy if you think China's not the motherfucker who's going to slip in the window at night and bust a cap in our asses. Like, they are coming. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have Trump up, cleaning his gun, waiting for that window to open, than Sleepy Joe Biden talking about Sleepy Joe Biden. I love that. Talking about peace deals and shit. It's like, what are you talking about? These motherfuckers are going to kick. Ranked choice voting in America. That's all I want. Well, I mean, yeah, but you have to have more than two candidates, so there's no point. You know what I mean? If you only have two candidates and you do ranked voting, so this would be where you like have 5 candidates, you put them in order of what you like. My first choice would be this, my second choice would be that. We add up all the numbers. Oh man, thank you so much for that. That means so much for everyone involved. Ranked choice voting would be a very welcome change. Right, but you have to have more than 2. or it's there's no fucking point. And I guess you could just always put the fucking Green Party or whatever, but they fucked the debates up. You never get a third party in a real debate, It's just like you're on a hamster wheel, you're fucking stuck on it, realize it. But I would tell the people who think they're on the side of right to maybe shake your fucking head and snap out of it a little bit. Everything ain't what they're fucking telling you. Like, it's just not. And I'm not trying to sound like some conspiracy fucking nut, but it's like, Jesus Christ. Enough. Where is the personal responsibility? Let's not forget that these are the same motherfuckers who like wanted warnings on video games and everything. And it's like, how about the parents know what video games their kid are playing? There's no way in hell. My stepmother was such a fucking dumb cunt, but she was a parent, my grades started slipping and she caught me, she comes in the room, she caught me with, I got all this music, Megadeth, Metallica, Iron Maiden, all this fucking headbanger shit. She's like, this is putting you in a bad headspace. I'm taking these away until you get your grades up. And guess what? I wanted my tapes back because my iPod was in the shop and didn't exist yet. Getting rid of the Electoral College is such a given. Maybe not. Maybe not. Do any other countries use that system? I mean, it's a democratic republic. A lot of countries have a similar system. Just because ours is the Electoral College, it's about it being, gerrymandering. All this stuff is stuff. But do you understand that like California gives Electoral College votes to illegal immigrants? Did you know that? Like California basically allows its illegal immigrant citizens to vote, including for president, and they actually have electoral votes that are delegated solely to the illegal immigrants. Everybody gives all this shit. Like, people really, we've separated like what enforcing a law is, from everything about just the way we switch narratives on things, about Trump holding Mexican babies at the border to like, oh, he got ICE to kick people out of the country. It's like, it's illegal for illegal immigrants to be here. That's against our law. It's not a new law that Trump made. I'm sorry. The whole narrative about the stimulus package hold up right now. This system seems to be gamed by both sides. It's a tug of war. Right. But I don't think it will ever happen because it gives smaller states more worth, doesn't it? There's arguments for and against the electoral college system. I would tell you to Google both, like pros and cons. This is another problem, is that we search for things that back up our existing opinion. We have a lot of preconceived bias. How you even Google something or search for a video on something tailors your view. So you Google why is the electoral college bad? All that's going to come up is electoral college bad. So just write pros, cons, electoral college. Arguments for electoral college. Arguments against. Algorithms are bad, folks. Yeah, putting them in cages like pigs in an abattoir isn't the way to keep immigrants. Okay, that didn't happen. I would argue that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But that goes to show you, like, that's what the media wanted you to fucking hear. I said this when it happened 3 years ago, when this all was fucking happening. If you watch Fox News, it's not happening at all. And if you watch CNN, they're basically, rounding up children with tractors. We could use an update. We could also update the 200-year-old method. Of what? Yeah, no doubt. I'm not saying we can't. I would argue that our system is so fucking corrupt now that we actually can't. Look, it was all brilliant. Nobody could have seen where it went, and we have fucking twisted it so much now that it's unfucking twistable. Good luck. Just like getting this country it did happen when they separated kids from parents. It's literally footage of them in cages. It's not really up for debate. There's no footage of kids in cages. I mean, there's just not from the Mexican border. And you know what? It really boils down to what you're calling a fucking cage. Okay? And also, I can already tell what you've done because you're in this fucking bias loop. They were separated from their parents. What was actually happening, and this, I think it stretches back to Obama. These are all laws Obama put in place, by the way. All these facilities with the cages were built by Obama and the Obama administration. Trump didn't build a bunch of cages at the border. Obama actually built these. And the policy at the time to build those was to help kids. There were a lot of kids showing up with coyotes from other countries claiming to be these kids' parents who weren't their real parents at all. A lot of them are not. A lot of parents stay behind and send their kid forward for a better life. They're not their parents. They certainly aren't all their parents. So it's disingenuous to throw that out. And they're also not cages. They give them food, a place to sleep, and was it secure? Were they locked? Yes, they're children who were brought over from sometimes very abusive situations. I'm not saying that no kids were separated from their parents. I'm not saying that. Of course some were. But all that stuff has to get verified. And when you just run with one narrative, but all these kids Trump is taking kids, frame it like that. Trump is taking kids from their parents at the border and putting them in cages. It's like Trump is following a law that Obama enacted, separating children from the adults they show up with at the border until their parents can be verified. It's not like they go, oh, you are the parents? Good, separate. No. Once they knew their parents, they put the family unit back together and then processed them. At some point, you have to start turning people away because what the fuck? We can't let everyone who comes here as a refugee in. These problems aren't cut and dry and cut and simple. And anyone who argues for or against them in either way, wow, you're sheltered, Patrick. All I've done is offer an alternative view. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. So you tell me what I'm wrong about. Those facilities were built during the Obama administration. Those laws to separate children from the adults they showed up with, not parents, adults they showed up with, sometimes were parents, actually. Yes, of course. There wasn't always a way to prove. Not everybody who showed up was separated. And even when they were separated, it's not like they were separated for a long time in most cases. Like, you just don't, like, you're not being honest. That's not what most people's goal is, to like fuck over people. What's real anymore? This is the point. It's very easy now to be in a bubble of facts that you think are facts because you've heard it and read it so many times. And I'm telling you, like, these things aren't true. There's literally footage of them in cages while you're sheltered, Patrick. Like, okay. Yeah, I would argue that what we're fighting about is the definition of a cage. So yeah, I'm sure they were made of fence and had a lock on them because they were secure. So yes, if that's what we're saying, yes, they were taking kids away from the adults they showed up with at the border until they could verify identities of both the adults and the children. Sometimes that meant the parents got separated from their legitimate children, but a lot of times it wasn't. A lot of times these coyotes were paid to take dozens of children at a time. And it's a shitty situation. And they made the kids oink. Okay. I don't know what you've seen, but clearly it was a version of Babe, Pig in the City with a lot of outtakes. They made the kids oink and roll in the mud. We should just put those inflatable sumo suits on. Link, I want to see that. Yeah. I agree. I do want to see that. I do want to see border officials with kids in cages making them roll in the mud and oink. I would like to see that. Please email me, patrick@nobodylikesonions.com. I do want to see it. I need to see it. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for all them dollars, baby. Boom. Subscriptions. For Coors Light Rider. I like that. What a cool nickname. Oh, Lord. I would just say this, and again, I'm not arguing either way. I think both sides are fucked. But you've been foie gras'd a lot of horseshit, you goose. So look around. All I'm saying is, like, just look around a little bit, because it all ain't what it seems like, man. Hella happy to see you back. Been blowing my bits and dollars on Ansel lately. Please don't do that. Alex Ansel has told me, actually, he finds subscribers sickening, and bits. Who does bits, really, when you think about it? Yeah, I don't know, Fingen. I guess he's frantically searching for a video of kids oinking in the mud while being prodded with electrical tasers by Border Patrol agents. It's just like some things I don't even need to like see to know that that's not all there is to the story. All the blame should be on the libs. No. It's fucked either way. Okay. But do we think Trump's hair is real? I mean, before he was ever president, he's made that joke several times, and everybody thinks his hair is fake. He's tugged on it. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, you guys all want to talk about wigs and flies. Like, it's all fun to just make fun of Trump's hair. Like, I don't understand. Like, so if that's what's important, I guess, yeah, let's pick the guy that a fly didn't land on, because we all know flies are attractive to shit. Boom, mic drop, right? Gang. Like, I don't know. Like, is that what we're doing now? Cause okay. But anybody acting like Biden and Kamala Harris are like dope. Yeah, man, it's weird times. It's weird times. But I think I'm really kind of on the fence, man. You always say like, how can you be undecided? I got to look at it like this a little bit. Like, I don't know anything Trump's really done policy wise, especially financially, and based on how the economy is doing, that I'm against. He's a lot of trade stuff that like has been pretty pro America, and I know that's not cool right now to like be USA, but it's like, why not? You know, this whole fight in Congress right now about the stimulation. You seem pretty defensive about making fun of Trump. Pretty sus. No, the guy is a complete dope. Like, no doubt, cringe and embarrassing. But I'm just talking about like the country. Like, who do I think will do more damage to the country policy wise? The damage Trump's done to the country from an embarrassment standpoint is done. I look at that kind of as a sunk cost. Did Patrick just say he's not against locking up kids like pigs? Breaking news. Yeah. Like, Trump is already going to be a blip of embarrassment on our country. As a person with stocks, and as a person who likes the economy doing well, and who thinks Trump's done a good job of that. Trump wants to lower the corporate income tax to like 15%. Biden wants to raise it to like 28, maybe 35. That's not good for my stocks. It's not good for the real estate market. They love to tax and spend. I'm telling you right now, take California and you tell me what's going well there. California is the biggest left Democratic economy, in the world. Self-sustaining Democrat, like left blue. They've ruined for the $3 trillion they're getting. Boy, are the streets clean? No. Are homeless people helped in a legitimate way? No. Traffic is completely fucked. People are fleeing because income tax is higher than anywhere else in the country, both city and state. Why are you living there again? No one can afford a house. The companies are leaving, so jobs are leaving. Tell me again how it's killing. You've got a governor who, when asked what he thinks about people leaving California, his answer was, where are they going to go? It's like, well, I mean, you're seeing it. Las Vegas, Phoenix, Denver, Salt Lake, Seattle, Portland. I mean, not Seattle and Portland anymore, because if you're there, your fucking city's on fire and police are standing around picking their noses. Because you're all so woke, you can't shake. You can't shake. Like, no, everyone's afraid to Austin. Everyone's afraid to enforce laws. Something happened with the liberals where we got together and we're like, we can't enforce the laws we have anymore. People are crossing the border illegally, but it would be wrong to stop them with a wall or a cage. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Yes, people are burning down things and looting, but we can't just have the police arrest them for a crime. What? I'm sorry, I can't open my hair salon. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think there's an easy answer. I do think we're headed to I can't believe how slow it's happening. I was really wrong about this because I said earlier this year when I got back from Australia that we will have soldiers in the streets, get your guns. This is coming to a boiling point. Portland was never on fire. I find that hard to believe. Bridgetown, maybe not from these riots, but it's been on fire a lot. That place is a shithole. Probably like started by some hipster, trying to barbecue in his pool. I don't know, man. I don't know. You're right. Seattle Chop Chaz is the real nightmare. Imagine living in Seattle. But LA is the same way now, right? Like LA has just cops standing with their arms crossed while people, run around breaking windows in cars that drive by in the name of Black Lives Matter. Like what? I don't know, man. And again, I get it. Your argument is, well, they've been oppressed and they got to get that anger out on Starbucks. Okay. Is America still number one, though? I don't know what that means. Like, what does that mean? And I mean, there's, 200 and fucking 8. I don't know the number. 208 sovereign nations. I don't know. I mean, mathematically, how could we be? The court said this week that the businesses can sue the city of Seattle. Of course. Of course. And as much as I hate Donald Trump for not really doing anything about coronavirus, he probably saved the federal government a shit ton of money in lawsuits because they didn't really make any calls. Is America still the best country in the world, like y'all love to say? I mean, I just don't think across the board you could make that argument. Like, no, we got a lot of fucking issues. But a lot of places have a lot of fucking issues, So I think it's just a balance of what's important to you. I think there's obviously also a bias to where you're born and, staying with something that's familiar. Like if you're born in Sweden, let's say you're born in Belgium, okay? No one is arguing Belgium is the best country on earth. No one. Like they're not even in the running. Australia doesn't have any issues and we are clean. I'm not even taking that bait. Australia is great though. China's the best country. No elections to worry about at all. Yeah. It may be a good point. Maybe fucking a good point. Like, fuck, man. If you don't like America, get out. But does everyone know what I'm talking about a little bit? Like, somewhere it became, like, cool to, like, look, and I'm one of the people. Like, there's a lot of shit that's gone wrong here. And I think the state of America is really bad. Like, yeah. So I guess it's very easy for me to answer that question. No, I don't think it's the best in the world, but I don't think anything's the best in the world for long. It probably moves. It's a moving target, right? So I would say no. I would say there's probably never been a better time to get the fuck out of Dodge if you can. My version of that is buying a house, arming up, and protecting my sovereign yard while coming to you guys on the internet. America's like Tesla. Love it for what it can be. I mean, no, I think Tesla's on the up and up and its better days are ahead of it. Unfortunately, I think America in its current condition, its better days are probably behind it. America's in the top 30. Yeah, no doubt it's in the top 30. I mean, that's not even... it's probably in the top 10. You have to understand that, like, people's fucking, like, rhetoric and, like, embarrassment about America, like, doesn't move it in the ranks, I don't think. Whatever. And it definitely beats Australia because, you got to go to Australia. But if I was born in Australia and all I knew was Australia and even visited America and still knew about America and saw America so much, look, everybody grows up with American TV and movies and shit in any country, whether it's dubbed into your language or you watch it in English, and that's how you learn English. Most non-English speaking countries, the people learn English from our media and entertainment, like staggeringly higher than here, learning another language. So, and they still don't move to America. Now, is that because immigration laws? It's hard. No. If you want to move to another country, you could probably figure it out and get to another country. Unless you're a homeless person in California. But I think your familiarity, your friends, your family would keep you where you are, whether it's Australia, Sweden, Belgium, Spain, whatever. I don't think there's enough compelling reason to switch, which is also why I defend other countries when America do say, we're number one, freedom, da-da-da. It's like, what? Like, everybody has fucking freedom. But not everybody has equal freedom. For instance, in Australia, you don't have freedom of speech. I know comedians who got in trouble in Australia for talking shit about someone, both on Facebook and on stage. Comedians have been sued and lost $80,000. Mike Ward in Canada. Canada now has laws against misgender pronouncing people. I don't want that. I think that's stupid. I think it's antithetical to the foundation of the country. There's compelling reasons to leave the U.S. Absolutely. There's compelling reasons to leave Australia. There's compelling reasons to leave everywhere and compelling reasons to go almost anywhere. Almost. No, Australia, you have no inherent freedom of speech. You don't. It's not a law that exists there. And I've gone around and round with people smarter than you in Australia about it. Like, they've explained it to me because I couldn't believe it. I was like, no. I mean, you don't. You're built on a different system. You're a fucking Commonwealth country. There's no shame in that. And guess what? For the little bit of freedoms you don't have that are equal to ours, I would argue that the whole system overall is better run. Absolutely. So I'm not one of these people. You need to shut people up sometimes. Agreed. Agreed. If you're Australian, you can get away with saying anything because no one can understand you. Go Australia. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I also, like, now that I know you're in Australia, I didn't even know that, and you're arguing about what Trump did at the border with cages. Like, okay. Like, I would argue that you've been spoon-fed one side of the story by media that you're into. And I would just tell you to actually go look into that a little bit. Because I'm telling you, no president gets more shit, gets spit on, lied about, and less benefit of the doubt than the United States. What is this? We got a link here. Let's see. Passed in June 2017, Bill C-16 has become a part of a larger conversation surrounding gender pronoun use, freedom of speech, and the rights of transgender and gender diverse Canadians. What changes exactly are in the new law? Added the words gender identity expression. It was added to the Canadian Human Rights Act, joining a list of identifiable groups that are protected from discrimination. These groups include age, race, sex, religion, and disability, among others. It was also added a section of the criminal code that targets hate speech, right? Defined as advocating genocide and the public incitement of hatred, where it joins other identifiable groups. Now, that is it's dangerous. It's dangerous. So hate speech is outlawed. No one knows what that is. Now, defined as advocating genocide and public incitement of hatred. Why can't I incite people to hate someone? You could argue that's what I do to people with Ty Rivera, right? I would never tell anyone to do anything to him, although we do have some stuff to go over where Ty Rivera got punched in the past month while I was on the road. Wait till you hear the story by another comic friend of his. But I would argue that you should be able to tell people to hate somebody. Like, by the way, motherfuckers, you're all doing it right now to Trump. How come that's okay? And I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying you should be allowed to. This is all dangerous, slippery slope stuff. Scroll down about it not being against the law to mispronounce someone. It was added to a section of the criminal code sentencing hate crimes. There's evidence that an offense is motivated by bias, prejudice, or hate. Okay. So now it's dangerous for a white person to do anything to a person of a different sex or race because it can not only carry the penalty of the crime that was done. Like I shoot my neighbor because he keeps leaving shit on my lawn. Okay. He constantly leaves his tools, wheelbarrow on my lawn. I get tired of it one day. I shoot him. Well, he's black. Now I get murder and a hate crime charge. And it's like, just because he's black and I'm white doesn't mean that it's a hate crime. So these terms, hate crime, hate speech, I think are very muddy and open the law to a lot of ambiguity. And which way is the wind blowing type of shit, which is what the left is all about, by the way. Like, they're all about, like, I've never seen people more entitled. Like, y'all are all okay. Like, I've never, like, you guys will post a video of, like, this kid was shot. By the way, you know, the say her name, the Breonna Taylor, it's like, it's so cringe for you to post anything about Breonna Taylor and justice and da-da-da-da-da. You don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I think you don't even know the case. It's cool to use that hashtag and forward the article. I would love someone to tell me right now in the chat, go for it. You know, what was done. Now, look, we can argue about the viability of no-knock warrants and all this kind of stuff. That's fine. That's fine. That's talking about changing legislation. I want to know what the cops did wrong or unlawful, and I want to know how justice wasn't served in her case. Be willing to hear that. Otherwise, I think everybody should probably shut the fuck up. You know, you're using it for political and for political gain, and you're exploiting it for your own victim, you know, for likes and shit on Facebook. Patrick is saying Breonna Taylor deserved to die. Yeah, she should be dead. Wow, y'all are crazy. I don't know. Hate crime doesn't get lumped in unless there's prior proof of racism. Speaking from my time studying law. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I think it can be a slippery way of defining it. Like, no one kills anybody they don't hate. You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference if I hate you because I don't like the way you look at me every day, or I hate you because, yeah, I am not into blacks. Like, is there a real difference? I don't know. I don't know if it should be allowed or not. Like, this gets down to the question of, like, should racism be allowed? It's like, I would argue yes. I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's morally right. I'm not racist. I don't think it's cool to be a racist. I would say don't be a racist, you know? I would also say that most people aren't racist, and it's not really a giant problem. But I know that's not popular. You're sounding more and more like Kern. Never, never, never. I'm not drunk. I'm not rambling. I have a vocabulary. I don't contradict myself every 2 minutes, and I'm able to follow a logical train of thought sometimes. Current is a nightmare. Racism is a God-given right. Like, it just like I'm sorry, I want the guy to be able to put the Confederate flag in his back window of his truck. I'd like to know that's what that dude was thinking. Good information, you know. You guys aren't going to be happy till we're all wearing V striped gray suits, acting the same, doing the same thing. Like, is that what you really want, you nuts? Weird. No, I would not say Breonna Taylor deserves to be dead. I would just argue that if you're posting like justice for Breonna and fuck those cops. By the way, you look at the threads of those things, it's just like, fuck those pigs. They're doxing them, you know, like, let's kill pigs, kill cops. It's just like, what? Like, you know what I mean? These are the guys asking for justice for people, but no justice if, you know, it goes against what you think is morally. It's just like, you're just hypocritical babies. If someone is racist, they should be allowed to voice it, that they don't feel censored. There's a space for civil debate. Look, you should be allowed to be racist, but everybody should be allowed to shame you and laugh at you and, you know, tell other people that you're racist. Like it's a free market, really. Like if you want to have a podcast where you go around saying things against another race, you know, they're not purebred. Let's keep the white lines. And like if you want to go around doing that, cool. But don't be mad when Panera Bread doesn't hire you. Like I think that's fair. Like you know what I mean? Like you can also. I think you should be allowed to walk up to the biggest black guy in the room and call him the N-word. I also think you should be able to say that word, and I know that I can. I'm choosing not to do it because I don't need the controversy, and I also would like to be respectful. I understand a lot of people get triggered. I think you're a fucking baby for being that way, but, you know, it doesn't take any fucking sweat off my bread to just say the N-word instead. But I think you should be able to walk up to the biggest black guy in the room and say that. And then I think you should know that 9 times out of 10, the consequences of that are going to be you getting stomped. You know what I mean? It is a free market. And this narrative that a lot of the media has, where it's just like this country is racist, systemic race, it's just like that doesn't. Again, you've made it uncomfortable for someone in public to admit they're voting for Trump. I don't think a lot of people are out there being racist. And I think a lot of people would say something if they saw somebody doing something extremely racist. Not always, but I do think it's way less of a problem than you think. And the reason I said the thing about Breonna Taylor is I just think most people don't even fucking know what they're talking about. You know, if you go by Facebook, 9 out of 10 posts is like Breonna Taylor was sleeping in her bed and cops bust into her house, put a gun in her mouth while she laid dreaming, and shot her before her shift the next morning as an EMT. Who knows how many lives she could have saved if she would have just gone to work that day. But cops, no knock warranted her door, entered her bedroom and shot her in her sleep. And it's like, holy fuck. And one person posts that, or, you know, a summary of the events, which they deem as somewhere along that line. And of course it gets, 9 million shares. Everybody likes, like, fucking cops again. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, man, I don't know. Cop shot her in her mouth. I'm outraged, right? And then guess what? The cops didn't get anything and she's dead. Like, that's the narrative. That's what people think. like what? I mean, read all of it. Like, that's just not what happened at all. The cops did get a no-knock warrant. I don't know about no-knock warrants. I do think that's pretty dumb. I don't understand a no-knock warrant. Maybe there are some reasons for them sometimes. I don't really understand it. We can argue that. That's a different issue. But they did get the warrant. They got a no-knock warrant legally from a judge. So whatever you want to say about that, I do agree. There's some wiggle room there that we could do better as cops. And by the way, across the board, I think there's a lot of like just retraining and better training we can do for cops. Like, absolutely. If anybody wants to have that real conversation, but nobody does. They want to post, say her name. It's like, okay. So just so you know, it was Breonna's apartment. They were after her boyfriend, who was a known drug dealer. He was using her house as a trap house for drugs, for drug trafficking, pretty much. Some people say she didn't know, but she knew. She had a history of boyfriends doing this kind of shit. 4 years prior, she lost her job as an EMT. She wasn't a current EMT. And look, that's not a reason for somebody to die. I wish nobody was dead. That's not what any of this is saying. I'm just saying, like, let's be honest about stories. Let's not be incendiary about what happened. Because I think when you have an honest conversation, we can actually begin to fix things. I do think there's some stuff to do with no-knock warrants that can probably be revisited and evaluated. But she rented a car to help her previous boyfriend commit a murder. They found a body in her trunk. She lost her job as an EMT. This is like back in 2016. Okay. And again, speaks to character. Whatever. Everybody makes mistakes. Things happen. That doesn't mean she deserves to die. She gets a new boyfriend. That boyfriend's in jail for prison. He doesn't blame the cops for her death. Her family doesn't blame the cops for her death. Did you know that? No one in her family blames the cops. They get a no-knock warrant. They go to her apartment, middle of the night. They knock anyway. They knock several times. It wakes neighbors up. It woke people up inside the house. They announce police. Some people say they didn't announce police. Some people say that they did. Okay? The police say they did, and some people said they heard them yell police 3 times. Let's give them half a benefit of the doubt and say they yelled police and knocked. Okay? Patrick is doing 2 hours of logic. None of this is a reason to vote for Trump. It's a reason to not vote. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know the answers, man. I just I'm done. Like, I was on board, like, with the fuck Trump shit. I really was. But I don't know if I can go along with the other side either. Like, y'all going too far. Like, enough. It's too much. One neighbor heard it once. There were other neighbors who said they heard it multiple times. They then went back and recanted. So I agree. That's muddy. Let's give the benefit of the doubt and say no one says they didn't knock. So they definitely knocked. I can't imagine them knocking and not saying police. One neighbor's heard it once. I'm going to go with your facts. It's been a while since I read the case, but I have read the whole fucking case. So yeah, let's say they knocked once. And what happened then? Did somebody come to the door and go, "Yes, officer, how can I help you?" And they go, "Get out of our way. Is there anybody in bed to shoot?" No. The boyfriend answered the knocking by firing about 6 times through the door. I believe that number's correct. Hitting a cop in the leg. At that point, I don't give a fuck. It's on. So the cops return fire through the door. Breonna is in the hallway, gets hit with a bullet, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the scumbag who's shooting doesn't get hit, the guy they were after. But Breonna was in the hallway. She got shot fatally. And that's what it is. All these officers and stuff went through a grand jury process, which is how our justice system works. So all this, justice for Breonna, like, it's not like a bunch of police commissioners got together and went like, "We're okay with what these pigs did. Yeah, fuck that black bitch." And then like wrote, "Yeah, we're not going to do shit." No. This went to court. Everyone got to make their case. Everyone got to make their case. And 9 jurors found them not guilty and that they acted. I'm sorry, you shot through a fucking door at cops. You're hanging out with drug dealers. You have to, again, doesn't mean anybody should be dead. I wish it didn't happen. I really did. They broke in, then he shot. That is not true. That is not, I've read the report. I allow you to send me alternative information, but that's a very big sticking point, and I don't think that's true. They knocked. He started shooting through the door. The bullet holes are there going out of the door. Like, I've seen the photos of that shit. So I don't know. I don't know where that leaves us, but I would challenge that. You're wrong. Well, I saw a doctored thing on Breitbart then. And also have heard it, counted by the officers incorrectly. The point is, and again, we can go round and round on this, on the how many neighbors or how many knocks and whatever. Does a girl deserve to be dead? No. 100%. But I would also say that you can't, even if you disagree with the outcome, this is the point. Even if you disagree with the outcome of a trial, you can't kind of go, the definition of justice is like going through the system. No. He's never wrong. I've never said that. I'm wrong all the time. Please. Don't you dare. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've read this stuff. So I'm 100% positive all my details aren't correct. My point is neither are yours. Wow, baby. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm really into it. Thank you so much. This is Twitch magic. Shared rewards to 3 others in the chat. Wow. Really dope. I said thank you for your money, and you actually didn't give me any money. That wasn't a monetary thing, so I'm going to need you to either give me money or we're going to have to take that back. Yeah, my point is that people share a lot of, like, honestly, before I knew anything about the Breonna Taylor thing, she was shot in bed, with her babies by police executing a no-knock warrant. And that's not quite true. And justice was also done because it was a jury of peers who got all the facts, by the way. It's not like the police chief just went, this looks like a good, clean kill to me. Stamp. Like, that's not what we're doing. And I do love it when people on Facebook think they know more details of the case than jurors who sat hearing evidence in every facet of this case for hours and hours and days. It's just like they know more about it than we do. I gave you the bits. That's like a solid 420 USD right there. I don't know what the US dollar's at right now. I do everything in Kenyan shillings right now. So just so you know, that's where I'm at from a legal point of view. I got a tax guy that even if I buy this house, it's all going into an LLC, so I'm not really involved. It's all about it. I just like fuck. Enough is enough with all this weird double standards of shit. And the Reds just is nuts. Don't get me wrong. I do think there are nuts on both sides, but I think the overarching lies and manipulation of a narrative, just of an overall narrative of everyone's coming to get you, we got to get rid of Trump, is really more dangerous. And once you get these fucking woke idiots in there who think like you can never offend anybody and you got to watch what you say and correctly label and da 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 da. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to be a part of that. I do think we should live in a society that's civil and where people treat people how they want to be treated. Golden rule 101. Let's do it. I don't think that should be legislated. I don't think morality should be legislated. I don't think belief systems should be legislated. It's a slippery slope. Does the bill legislate the use of certain language? Could someone go to jail for using a wrong pronoun? In the criminal code, which does not reference pronouns, Cressman said misusing pronouns alone would not constitute a criminal act. This is why, but it does. Like, people have gone to jail for that, and the argument is that if you do it with the intent of hurting the person, the misuse of gender pronouns without more cannot arise to a level of crime. It cannot arise to the level of advocating genocide. Like, I don't know what that means. Inciting hatred. What does that mean? That's one that I have a problem with. What does inciting hatred mean? Like, I'm not sure what that means. Hate speech or hate crimes. These terms are the ones that I think are squirrely. Simply cannot meet the threshold. The Canadian Human Rights Act doesn't mention pronouns either. What they can argue, though, is that if you mislabel somebody with a pronoun and do it with the intent to be hurtful, then it's a hate crime. Then it's hate speech. Like, you're a woman. It's like, I had my bottom surgery. I'm a man. Whatever, lady. Nudge, nudge. And now they're like, he called me lady to hurt me because I'm a man. It's like, what? Take him away, boys. I don't know, man. I love, but isn't the intent to be hurtful just a subjective view? Right. This is why when you start legislating this stuff, it's banana nuts. What if they're just stupid? Well, yeah, and you have the case of there was a teacher that got fired They had some student who was like 8 and had a sex change, and they called him the wrong pronoun because they've had that person forever. And it's like, can we please understand that not everything is about you? I would argue that instead of trying to convince every person in the world to be nice, which is essentially what we're trying to do, which is insane, we teach other people to not expect everyone to be nice. I think that's probably an easier ask. You know, it'd be all great if we could hold hands and buy the world a Coke. It's never going to happen. Like, forget just America. Internationally, it's a non-starter. You know what I mean? Like, essentially what you're doing is saying to like Israel and Palestine, like, why can't you guys just fucking come to an agreement? It's like, what? This isn't about you. This is thousands of years of fucking turmoil. Like, no one's just going to be cool. And that's where when you shine the light on America and say like, talk about slavery or whatever. It's like, I don't know. Jews have moved on from the Holocaust, and that was like 90 years ago. Like, you know, or whatever, 80. And Asians aren't sitting around talking about, you know, internment camps. If we just get Trump out of the country, this will go away. Yeah. Okay, but at the end of the day, Patrick is saying vote Biden because Trump's still worse, right? No, I'm not saying that. I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now, I was hard Biden a couple months ago. I'm not hard Trump, but I'm not happy about, I think just from a policy perspective, and again, this takes out all the fucking embarrassing stuff Trump does and all the hateful rhetoric and all the, you know, dog whistles. From a policy point of view, I think Trump will do more to hurt this country in the next 4 years. Or Biden will do more to hurt the country in the next 4 years, fundamentally, when it comes to things like freedoms. And also just, I don't think it's the dad this country needs right now. I do, like, say what you want about Trump being such a fucking piece of shit asshole. Like, everybody needs a dad that they realize isn't going to do shit for them, you know? I don't like the other old white man Biden off to the side going like, elect me, I'm going to give everybody a new car and we're all going to get along. It's like, no. I want the dad who's like passed out on the couch, drunk, who helps me realize as a spawn of this thing, he ain't going to do shit for me and I better start doing shit for myself. I mean, Biden does touch little girls in the night. Come on. That's the old way of doing. We always used to. I love it when like old women stick up for Biden. Like, we always smelled people when we stood behind them in the 20s. You don't get it. Like, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy all the Biden stuff either. Like, I don't think the Pizzagate shit, like, whatever. It's giant douche and turd sandwich, man. It's just what it is. Are you saying you're riding with Biden? Ugh. Is that a real thing people say? Ugh. No thanks. Yeah, and the second Biden get elected, he's collecting everyone's guns. Right. These are just like dumb scare tactics they all use back and forth. It's like, I want you to really, like, no matter how pro-Biden, anti-Trump you are, and by the way, I don't think anyone's really pro-Biden. I think people are anti-Trump. But I do think if you rationally, and this goes to anti-Trump people in the crowd or in the chat. If you're really anti-Trump, just be honest with yourself about why, I think. That's all I would say, because that's what I'm struggling with. Like, there's nothing he's really done. And when I say done, I'm talking about policy, laws. I'm not talking about jerk off executive orders that got overturned. There's nothing he's really done that's hurt the country. Now, from a saving face, America. I don't get how people are anti-Trump. What are you talking about? It's all because of his yelling. Yeah, I already asked Heskey if he wanted to be on, and he said he's doing another podcast. Yeah, everybody please message Heskey a wellness check. Yeah, but from a policy point of view, like, a lot of the things people get on to Trump about, again, Obama was worse policy-wise on those things. Like really, like actually. And I know no one will bother listening to that or looking it up. But it's the same way with, like, if you haven't seen that movie 0 Day about the Stuxnet virus, you know, his handling of COVID was perfect. I disagree. You know, this is about this virus that the Bush administration concocted, computer virus with, I believe, Israel and the UK. You know, this is a state-created virus by these guys. It was made to attack centrifuges in Iran to cause them to melt down when Iran was working on nuclear capabilities. And the virus was programmed to, like, self-destruct, basically not infect any other computers. It only affected computers in Iran. It was looking for, like, specific versions of Windows XP and, like, these controllers for nuclear centrifuges made by, like, Siemens. You know, it was all looking for, like, very specific hardware. So it's not like you would get this on your laptop. But then it was set to shut down January 19th, 2009, which is the day before Obama's inauguration. Imagine being so out of touch that you're still talking about Trump versus Hillary. Yeah, that's what these motherfuckers are doing, though. Like, that's what they're doing. If Hillary got COVID, she wouldn't have beat it like Emperor Trump. Oh, God. So Obama comes into power and he gets informed about this virus. And then Obama's like, oh, my God, this is great for spying on people and you know, for giant infrastructure manipulation. And they go back and recode it and make it way more widespread. This is how it got discovered. It never got discovered while the Bush administration was actually using it for its intended purpose. Obama came into office and goes, this is great. Open it up. And then it started infecting computers all over the world, including the United States. And people figured out what it was and went back through the history of it. It was created by Israel, the UK, and the United States. And then, you know, you talk about how much shit Bush got for the Patriot Act. You talked about this 2 years ago. It's a good documentary, though. 0 Day, I believe it's called. It's fascinating. But, you know, like when Bush got all the shit for the Patriot Act, and it's like, you remember fucking Edward Snowden? I think that was 2011 or 12. No, I love this story. Let him tell it. Fuck you guys. I'm not hearing you suggest better topics. I have to say this stuff because I've talked to a lot of people over the past month. And when you really have conversations with people, you don't realize how much people are in there. Like, and I know it's cliche and I know everyone's aware of this by now, how the algorithms and the bubbles work. But you still don't understand what it does to your dumb animal brain. Even being aware of it, I don't think people fully understand how much they get brainwashed into thinking that a forced narrative is what actually happened. And I'm not advocating for either fucking side of it. What I'm saying is hop around a little bit. I mean, can we talk about how bad the UK and Europe are handling their second wave of COVID after making fun of the US? I mean, whatever. Like, the US didn't handle it well, but I also think it's disingenuous to say that like Trump, like, who knows how many deaths there would have been. Like, we just don't know. We don't know. And this country is a different fucking beast. Like, it just is. Say what you want. It is. We were always going to have a higher percentage of deaths than other people. But, you know, it's not crazy. Everybody just fucking relax. Wear your masks. Be fucking cool. Don't spit on people and breathe on people. Go into the store, get your avocado toast, and get the fuck out. What are you all doing? You know, that's so important. Australia handled COVID the best, especially Victoria. Fuck. It just like we're just capable of like pinning anything on anyone, whether it's true or not. And if you're gonna have a discussion about presidents and what they've done to this country, I think a lot of it needs to revolve around policy and not just the embarrassment factor. No one's arguing that Trump's not embarrassing. Like, of course. But when it comes to invasive policy and actually restricting of rights, y'all need to look at Obama, man. Y'all need to look it up. Like, because you're just out of your mind. How did you come up with that? The U.S. will always be the worst with COVID because of how stupid middle Americans y'all have. Because of all the stupid middle Americans y'all have. Where do you live, Finningen? I don't care for this kind of stuff. Would you guys like to get into something fun where we make fun of people we can all agree are idiots? I just have a couple of things. And of course, we'll be back this week. We're back in the studio. We're back in the swing of things. I thought it'd be fun to go over a couple of ties and traces. How about we do it? Let me bring up the old browser machine. Blink. Retards are all about women's and gay rights. Ours are about. I do think there's probably a little bit of a false. Like, I don't think look, there's religious Republicans. There's Republicans. I don't think. Even when I was a registered Republican, I wasn't against abortion or women's rights. And I think there's a large group of Republicans that aren't, you know. It's easy. It's easy to just make everybody in the say everybody's in the goddamn, you know, religious tea party. You had a hella legit lockdown there, though. Yeah. We're all great. This one is weird. Ty posted this. And I'm not sure what to say about it, but this is 20 hours old.
It's Sunday. What's up, guys? Tyra Barrett here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. All right, so this one isn't going to be a lot of editing. This one isn't going to be a lot of work. I just want to talk to you guys and catch you guys up. It is in the Sunday. World. I am thankful for a lot of things today. My YouTube is steadily growing, which reminds me, make sure you hit the like button, comment when I get on your nerves, and subscribe so you know the next time I'll be getting.
Got some new props here. He's lost the Glade plugins. We have a dirty paper towel. A bottle of Trader Joe's finest Merlot. I love this clock globe thing that, like, you know, his grandmother, just like when she left him this apartment.
But I just wanted to check in and let you guys know where I'm at in life right now. If you haven't been following me on Instagram stories, @official Tyra Barrett is my Instagram. Twitter.
Damn, he got Botox done. Yeah, he always does. What are you talking about? He always looks the same. Like, he gets Botox done. He looks like dog shit. You know, then it heals up and he looks okay for a couple days, and then he's like, time for more Botox. And then he just goes and gets more.
Is at Ty Rivera, and you can find me on both of those platforms. Also Facebook, but Facebook is so many people arguing right now that I don't really get too involved in Facebook anymore. And I used to be a part of that. I used to be one of those people, but
Used to be. We're talking like months ago. I love how he's like, things have changed now.
now I'm just not really so into it. I've been
Because you lost, you know? I wouldn't be into it either if like a large group of people got woken up to the fact that I'm an inciting piece of shit who, by the way, can't carry a conversation or argue a point. You fucking dumbass.
really working on myself. I stopped smoking weed for a little while, which
Like 20 minutes.
we'll see how long that lasts, because I'm kind of done with weed in a lot of ways. And I know that the potheads in the crowd will get mad at me for saying this, and it's nothing against you. And I'm not
I said this a while ago. I can't do it anymore. I can't handle it. I didn't smoke hardly any weed when I was gone on the road.
somebody else should quit, or I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying any of the stuff that people would say. I'm not saying that. I don't have a problem with people smoking. It doesn't bother me if people smoke around me. I just am not the most productive stoner in the world. So I try to be very aware of what's going on with me so that I...
We're talking about a dude who's been setting up a Patreon for like 3 months. Remember this guy? He's like, oh yeah, I'm setting up a Patreon. I know I said I would have it up last week. This is 2 months ago, by the way. I know I said I'd have it up last week, but I really want to pack it with content before I open it up. Remember he said that? It's like been 3 months. It's like, where's the Patreon?
don't fall into
I don't know.
habits that I don't necessarily think are productive, especially right now because there's so much I'm trying to do. I'm going through a pandemic just like everybody else, and
It's always this. There's a couple of these guys in Vegas. They're always like telling you like, oh my God, I have so much. There's so much going on. I got so much to do. So many projects and fingers and pies. You won't even believe it. I don't have time for the, who has the time to, just crazy. It's like, what? So I don't know. These guys are always bragging about how much shit they got in the works, and nothing ever happens.
I haven't been working, and
I learned a long time ago to stop doing that. When I came close to getting a couple TV shows in LA, and like you start telling friends about it, and then it inevitably always falls through. So at some point you just gotta like stop telling people about shit until you're on TV tonight. Like that's when you get like, hey guys, check me out tonight on this.
I
Ty's Pies.
really don't want to go back on the road, which I say all the time.
I've tried meat pies before. You didn't invent them in Australia.
But it's just so true. I just don't want to be on the road like I used to be. If you've been following me, you know, before the pandemic started for about a year and a half, I was pretty crazy on the road all the time. And
Right.
I'm not a big drinker.
And then you pissed
I don't
everybody off
party
and
on
couldn't
the
get
road,
booked.
So it's not like that's a problem. It's just I get tired of all the travel. A lot of what I do when I'm on the road is the road. And when I say the road, I mean I'll fly into one city and then drive to several cities.
Oh my God,
after
it's
that.
crazy. Nobody
Either a
does it like
feature
that.
will pick me up
In
or
the
I'll rent a
world.
car, and usually it's about 5 to 8 hours between each.
You
town.
think Australia invented meat pies? You can't really think that. I'm not having this. You know that's British. From pasties to pies. Meat pie. I've seen fucking the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Town and city that I go to, and I'll usually be gone for anywhere from 12 to 14 days. And if I'm lucky, I can bring Bijou with me. Sometimes I just have to go by myself. It depends
Bijou.
on the situation. And so I don't like being away from my place, and right now I'm really working on stuff with my body, and to some people that doesn't
He
seem like a big
never
deal, but I
looks
feel like that's going to
different.
factor
He
into
always
everything
looks
else
the
that
same.
I'm doing, and a lot of people ask me for diet and exercise advice.
A
which
lot of
I don't
people
mind at
ask
all.
me.
One day I would like to in
Same
some way
old Ty.
monetize that, and I'm not completely sure how I will do that, but
Hold on, now he's gonna monetize how people always ask him to see his body. So he's gonna start like some sort of like workout video. I was talking to Kool-Aid. He said he's been affected by the backlash of your Thai hate. How do you feel about that? Yeah, he's got some details. I think a lot of people have been talking shit. Clubs are starting to open up here. I'm hoping to get out and really get into the scene. And we'll start getting some of the dirt, some of the juice. Once we have the new studio, if everything goes through, I'll have people over. We'll build a safe space. And we'll really start drawing some lines here in the Vegas community, guys. There's a war coming. And you need to start picking sides right now. You want to be with me and Trump or Ty and Bai.
I'm just being really patient with myself in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I'm working.
It's like everybody's
really
waiting
hard
for
and
all your
making
stuff.
that I
We're being
stay
patient
focused,
too.
which is a part of why I needed to take a break from
It's
smoking
the same set of Lonely Girl 17.
weed, because I'm not the most productive stoner, and it doesn't really work that well with my
Just
body.
repeating
some
himself.
people have regular schedules and are able to sleep. For some
He said he
reason, when
can't
I
get
smoke
booked
weed,
anymore because of
it
NLO.
keeps
None of this
me
is true.
up. And I mean, awake.
He cried
for a
on
long
stream to
time.
me?
That's why my
Fuck.
sleep schedule has been so off recently.
Yeah, good point. We're done with Kool-Aid, guys. Attack him. Finningen is right. If he cried on stream and he's being a little bitch and he's saying he can't get booked, it was so sad. I mean, funny. You're right. We hate Kool-Aid now, guys. Let him know. Clip this. Make it a thing. Whatever we have to do for the internet. Everybody needs to know we're out of Kool-Aid. We're done with Kool-Aid. Make a Kool-Aid sandwich and then flush it down your dog. Okay?
Quit. Then once I quit, it has to clear out of my body. Some people don't deal with that. I personally do. Everything I'm saying right now is just about me and my body chemistry. I'm not at all generalizing. I'm not at all pretending to be a doctor. I'm just saying that this is what I notice with my body. And if there's one thing I do know, it's how my body works. Sometimes I try to deny it because there's what you should do and then there's what you want to do. And I like smoking weed. I like hanging out with my friends and we smoke, and the comedians always have weed. And I have weed right now, technically. I'm just not smoking it. But
Imagine
it just doesn't.
the need to brag on stream. Actually, I actually have weed right now. Like, I don't want to brag. I actually have a little weed right now. Whatever. I got a pipe right here. I wasn't going to show it, but I got a pipe right here. I wasn't going to say anything. God, that makes me cool.
Work with my body that way. So it's taken me a couple of days to get my body back together.
Let me see your body back.
My sleep schedule. As far as my body goes, things are going better.
Say my body again, dummy.
Working out like I'm supposed to. The other thing with the smoking is
every day.
I do smoke more cigarettes, which isn't necessarily the best thing in the world because I already smoke a lot of cigarettes just regularly, which I'm not trying to change that about myself. I know some people will tell me about the negative side effects to my health.
I know. He talks about weed a lot. Remember when he wouldn't even say weed on the stream before? By the way, what happened to Vegas Virtual Studio with the big shiny curtain? He's not doing shows there. There's no Patreon coming. I did let you guys decide which iPhone I should order. And everyone said the overwhelming response, Pacific Blue iPhone Pro. So I will be getting finally rid of my iPhone XS. Held on to it for 2 great years. Recently threw it into a pool and scraped it to shit. No, I love showing off the waterproof aspect of it. But so yeah, I'm gonna get the iPhone 12 Pro Pacific Blue. I agree with you guys. That's what I would have picked. Couple real out of it people like Edinburgh Mikey said get the black, but that's how fucking out of touch these guys are. They don't really get comedy or phones
and that kind of stuff. I've accepted all of that. I smoke cigarettes. It's just part of what I do. I'm not trying to change that about myself. It's
he's like, I don't have time for comedy because I'm working on my body. I also smoke cigarettes.
Something I'm working on. I've quit at different points, sometimes for a year, 2 years. When I did the 2 years, that just naturally happened. So I didn't think about it. It just happened, and I was fine with it because if my body doesn't want it, my body doesn't want it, and I'm not going to force it. But the time I did it for the year, that whole year, I just felt like I was just trying not to smoke all the time. And finally, I was like, well, why don't you just smoke cigarettes? Just get over it. And so I started smoking again and never looked back, and I'm happier than ever. So there's that. Today, though, should be the day that my sleep schedule goes back to completely regular. And I say this because there's a way that I've noticed my sleep pattern works, or the time that I'm awake works. I figured out the way.
You think it's a comforter? Get it?
My body works when
not the Pro Max. No. I don't like that. I switched a couple years ago to the regular, to the smaller screen. I like it. I don't think I'll go bigger. This is like a 6'1", 6-inch, 6.1 inch. I'm not taking any of your bait, Finnegan. I know what you're up to, pretending Australia is a country and Samsung makes good phones. Like, imagine being into Samsung. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're not doing it, you liars. Oh, you guys got the new Galaxy Note brick?
Comes to sleep.
The folding note.
I can be awake. Last night,
You guys got the new Samsung S20 folding note Nook.
Is at the most I can do
Note 20
hours, and then 9 hours on.
Are you guys on Donut or Android, Apple spam?
I started to get delirious and weird. And I was trying to upload my video because I'm doing some stuff with YouTube and research and trying to optimize the best times to put stuff out. Which, if you're watching and you're a fan, please let me know what time you think a good time is.
Oh no, he's researching what time to release videos on YouTube. I've been doing research. What time do you think is a good time to put videos out? Australian Samsung users. Yeah, that's probably what started all your fucking fires, You all using Samsung, the battery explodes, you fucking nerd.
Is for me to put stuff out. What time do you usually watch? If you can let me know that would be helpful to me, because you guys are what I care about. I don't care about YouTube algorithm in general when people are on at the busiest time or whatever like that. You guys are the ones that are actually watching my content, so that's who I'm actually paying attention to, which is weird for me because I usually don't think about people a lot, and I know that's
all you think about.
But it's me. So
can you have my old Mac? You'll pay for postage. What Mac?
What do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to lie to you guys and be like, oh, I'm just constantly thinking about other people? I don't think about people that much.
My family's holiday home burnt down in those fires, you small-headed prick. I do not have a small head, and I hope their primary home burns down in next year's, you piece of shit.
Character flaw. Every person I've ever dated.
My family's holiday home.
Of course, they're bitter because I didn't pay attention to them.
I don't have an old MacBook. I have a MacBook, and I use it. And I would never give it away for free to a poor Australian orphan, You already lost a house. Now you get a laptop? Fuck off.
And that's why I'm single, and I'm happy being single for the moment. Eventually, I'll get tired of being single.
Right.
But
give it a
right
minute,
now,
you fucking bipolar piece of shit.
I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and be like, I'm so down and so. No, I'm enjoying being alone.
Who wants you to come on and lie about being down? What are you talking about?
I hooked up a couple of times, but I was in an age-appropriate threesome the other day, which never again. Age appropriate, not doing it. I could go into detail, but let's just say I didn't have fun, and it was. I got the job done, but not my thing. So anyway, that's just me checking in. It's Sunday. If you guys want to give me a treat, hit my Venmo. That is at Ty Rivera.
This motherfucker is like still begging for Venmo and people buying him food. The other day was like asking for someone to buy him dinner. The minute I see a girl that I'm friends with on Facebook or something, like just posting like suggestive photos and like posting her Venmo Cash App shit up, just like who finna buy me dinner tonight? It's just like, what? That being said, who finna buy me dinner tonight? Get your bits and donations in. We'd love to have a treat.
Cash Comedy. Or you can hit my Cash App. That is Ty Rivera. And I will, I'm sure, put them somewhere on this video. That would be nice to get a little bit of fundage. Because I have.
How do you start an OnlyFans? I would do that. I would start a feet OnlyFans. Would anybody be interested in that? If I started an OnlyFans just with like provocative photos of my feet, would anybody be down to like share that around with their family?
Started my Patreon.
Like $2 a month.
yet, which I will start. But like I said, I just want it to be something that's actually worth it, and I want to have it all figured out. But
Curran will buy you some more burnt ends without you even asking. He's never bought me burnt ends.
I've been making.
Curran, you telling people you buy me burnt ends? I'll fucking kill you. No, Patrick, don't become a thought. I will be a thought.
Daily, and I have been working hard for you guys. So if you can throw a couple coins my way, great. If not, I understand. You're going through a pandemic just like I am. So no pressure there. But if you can, definitely hit my Venmo, hit my cash.
Okay. So we don't have a lot of time to get into this one today, but I would like to end this with teasing you. So I've gotten a lot more into Trey's Mala recently. This guy's a bigger fucking dummy than we ever thought. You know, and say whatever you want about Ty. Ty's like almost like a retarded dog chasing his own tail. Like whatever he wants to do, that's fine. It's fun to watch, but whatever. Trey's, this one we could have some fun with. This guy seems like a real loose cannon who's like the kind of guy who will show up at my house with a gun. So let's see how far we can take that. As you know, Trey's Mala, such a bad comic, never leaves the city doing comedy. He has a standing gig every Wednesday night at the Cankles Casino and Cantina. You complained about him making you burnt ends 2 years ago, Patrick. I have an eidetic memory. Kool-Aid said he likes trays, so be careful. Fuck trays. And I already said fuck Kool-Aid. We're done with him. No, I don't think Curran's ever made me burnt ends. I don't think I've ever had any barbecue that Curran has cooked. I have bought Curran barbecue before. Famous Dave's, I believe. So, Trey's Mala. Not a good comic, awful comic. Been doing it for 10, 15 years. It's not clicking. He doesn't have it. But he keeps trying. But he never leaves the city doing it. You know, he's got a family. He's got a full-time job. And it's just a fucking, like, thing for him to, like, still feel cool doing, I guess. But he's just a fucking joke. He sucks. He's never doing anything else. Again, he's at Cankles Casino Cantina every fucking Wednesday night. You want to know how somebody doesn't really have a comedy career? Look for them every whatever night, every week at a place. If you have a standing gig, you know, aside from like a residency in Vegas, and this is not that, and a lot of things that seem to be that are not that, and I'm not talking to anybody specifically. But he also has a job doing comedy, Hoover Dam tours. And we always had a big laugh about that because we thought, oh, he runs a comedy Hoover Dam company. Like this is like comedy traffic school. You know what I mean? It's like something no one was asking for, but when presented with the option, dumb Midwestern idiots, you know, probably go like, oh, Hoover Dam tour we were going to do. Comedy Hoover Dam tour. All right. I see what you're doing. All right. How much? Fine. You know what I mean? It always sounds better on paper than it's going to actually be. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you think you want stand-up comedy at your afternoon wedding, you don't. If you think you want to take a comedy Hoover Dam tour, you don't. And if you think you want to take comedy traffic class, you don't. These are not people who can get any kind of a job in comedy, you know, but they're tangential enough to it to be able to like do something else where comedy is a minor. You know what I mean? Like comedy on deck tours. Now here's what we found out. This is not Trey's company. He doesn't own shit. And we should have known. Like this guy's a fucking loser. And he's actually fundamentally and functionally retarded. I stand by that. Like he's not playing with a full deck, comedy on deck tours. Yeah, this is a dumb guy. And boy, here's how you know. You're going to get to hear him talk unscripted. They made videos where they introduce the Comedy on Deck employees to you at home. And by the way, the next time we have an NLO meetup here in Vegas, you guys come out, whoever wants to come out, we're booking out a whole bus with trays. We'll make sure Trays is the guy doing the tour. And we'll all just go in there, and we're not going to fuck with him. We're going to let him do his thing. Because I want to see it. Because when he's just funny off the cuff, you got to know. He's bringing the heat. I don't know why you're getting timed out. It's a bot. So you're just asking questions to an invisible god. Here's Trace Malla. Meet him at Comedy on Deck Tours. Meet the staff, Trez.
My name is Trevor Trez Malla. I'm a stand-up comedian. I only go by Trez Malla. Don't go by Trevor. People don't ever remember my name anyway.
People don't ever remember my name anyway, so whatever.
I don't know how to spell it, but I'm a family guy.
He just posted a giant photo of his family. Anyway, I'm a family guy.
I'm a family guy, father.
Here's his kids. Why would you put pictures of your kids?
2, got a 3rd one on the way. Can't wait to find out what we're having.
Can't wait to find out what we're having. You ready for his first zinger? Can't wait.
Wait to find out who did it.
Can't wait to find out who did it. Oh, fuck. Ready for some more jokes?
I've been here for 2 years now, 2.5 years. Been doing the tours. Absolutely love it.
Why are they playing like steel drum Caribbean music for the Hoover Dam? It's like
and really burned out doing stand-up comedy. Wanted to do the full-time plunge.
He goes, I was a bartender. I got really burnt out. I was doing stand-up comedy and I wanted to take the full-time plunge. So then I found a job at Comedy on Deck Tours. So if I'm not mistaken, what I'm hearing is now he gets to tell people he's a full-time comedian. He counts doing Hoover Dam tours as comedy. And he goes, I wanted to take the full-time plunge on comedy, so I started doing Hoover Dam tours. Imagine his wife. Imagine having to tell your children, whew, this is what daddy does. That face says it all, too. Just like not super proud of this.
Saw an ad on Facebook, of all places. Not even an ad, just a post on the Las Vegas comedy group.
Saw a post on the Las Vegas comedy group to do comedy tours. And I was like, fuck, I can't get booked anywhere else. I'd love to make $13 an hour.
The owner put it out there saying, hey, we hire guides. And I said, what the heck? Out of all the other people that applied, I was the one that lucked out and got the gig. I don't know how much longer I could have.
This as hold on.
Bartending gig, you know what I mean? Like,
says 250 views is like that's literally like 112 times more than any video on his channel.
I'm not doing anything else right now. I get to hang out, I get to tell jokes, and meet people from all over the world. I get to learn people's stuff.
I get to learn people stuff.
Oh no.
In the world.
Wow.
You know, learn them. But, you know.
Learn them.
Great gig, you know. Helped me as a stand-up comedian to work clean.
It hasn't.
I have a foul mouth, very big potty mouth guy. Say a lot of bad words. Well, now that I can't, it's helped me expand my vocabulary. I don't endorse.
It helps expand my level of vocabulary. He just said I get to learn people things. Like clearly Hemingway.
Props. My name ain't Carrot Top. I'm not that good of a writer. You can find me on every social media platform at Trez Malla, T-R-E.
You can't even look at a camera in the eyes. I've never seen this level of Hertzbergers.
M-A-L-A. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, Comedy on Deck, for the tours. And come out and see us. Get on the damn bus.
I cannot wait. We definitely have to go see this guy. And then some other comics I was working with in Kansas. We found this video of him doing comedy 7 years ago where he's trying to be urban. He like comes out high energy. He's got like a chain on and a hoodie and baggy pants. Watch this shit.
Hey, y'all ready to be our next comedian? Say hell yeah. I want y'all to give it up for my big homeboy, man. Make some noise for him. He got his own podcast, Courtesy Flush, and some more shit he gonna tell y'all about.
He's got his own podcast, Courtesy Flush. It's not around anymore, of course. He's moved on to Think Stopping.
Give it up for my boy Trans Molly, y'all. Make some noise.
I've never seen someone be so bad. And what's crazy about these guys is, like, all these guys put up the worst videos of them doing comedy. Like, if you have a video of you bombing and not doing well, why put it up? It's because this is the best videos of him. Like, somebody, I challenge you to go find me. I dare you to go find me a video of him doing well. Like, he clearly doesn't have one because we've seen all the ones he's put up. But watch this urban flavor, man. This is hot shit. Look at this. Look at him. Cocky.
I just want to get you guys a little worked up. Give it up for the Black Laurel and Hardy, everybody. You guys up here like Funny Bone and Geraldine for a second. I was like, holy cow, man. Leave on a high note. Shit. You don't know what it's like to be the little white guy going out for two black guys beating up a room. You know, normally it's the pussy, but
Like, how noisy. Everyone's just talking. Why would you put this up? And by the way, like, he's already peaked. This gets so bad, dude.
you got slapped over the head with some big black hammers right there. I'm sorry for that. I don't want to be all stereotypical or anything, but damn. I feel real small right now. Good God. I just want to say, my name is Trez Mallett. Thanks for coming out, everybody. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Supporting local comedy. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are really self-deprecating.
So he started bombing, and then he goes, guys, give yourselves a round of applause for comedies. That's his only clap so far.
Self-loathing sons of bitches, aren't you? You're like, one too many margaritas. No, I'm just happy because I'm a stay-at-home dad and I get to see people right now. You know what I'm saying? My wife thinks I'm out getting milk right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, bro, my phone's gonna blow up. I'm gonna have the bitch bomb blowing up here in a second. You know what I mean? Like the old lady on the end just talking about where you at? Wah 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 wah. Why'd you pack your bags when you went and got milk? We should mic them up. That's gotta be hilarious. And like, and then I said no fun Dino dip.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's so bad. I please scour the internet. I'd love to see a video of him doing well. This guy is talking so much shit. And I can't wait. We're gonna really start involving ourselves in his matters. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Thank you guys for sitting here listening to me ramble on and on about. There was no real lesson, and it probably leaned more right than left because most of the attacks were on the left. I don't want you to think that I'm down with either one of these guys. I think they're both fucking losers, and I'm not into it. But I'm running hard from the left. I can't take it anymore. If he's a comedian, then I'm Australian. Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. But yeah, I'm sick of everybody acting like you're on the right side just because you're down with anything woke. No, not anymore. Enough is enough. You're ruining the world. You're ruining the country. Have some personal accountability, and stop letting everything trigger. You're like, but they should stop doing triggering behavior. Like, no. Let them trigger, and you stop getting triggered. I would argue that is the more productive path to health. You know, it all stems back just to the main principle of Worry about the things you can control. I think in general, that's probably a positive message. You can't control everybody. You should try to stop. The idea that you even think like standing out on the street, holding up a Biden sign, holding up a Black Lives Matter sign. It's like, is there anyone driving by going like, I never really thought of that. I guess they do matter. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not doing anything. What you're doing is making yourself feel better and hanging out with your friends while disrupting traffic, causing accidents, and making people in the neighborhood miserable. And that's peaceful. The minute you start kicking the cars that drive by and don't honk to support your message, dragging people out of the car windows, kicking them to death, it's like you've lost your fucking way, man. Like that's not what we were doing. And good luck, fixing it, because we all know that I can't keep a straight face when my psychologist talks about triggers anymore. Thanks to that. Like but you know what I mean? Like it started from a good place. Like I do get it. I do get it. Like it would be nice. But there's also an insane thing to anyone who thinks they're going to fix the world. Like all we want is everybody to agree Black Lives Matter. Everybody to not be racist. Everybody to not be fascist. Vote the way we want them to vote. Honk when they drive by and support my sign. Like my posts. We want everybody to think this way. It's like, no, you don't. That sounds awful. No. Don't speak on our campus if you have a different opinion. We don't want to see a movie by an actor with a different opinion. We're going to block people if they have a different opinion. If somebody says they're voting for Trump, we're blocking them. It's like, why don't you examine your head, man? That doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like you're okay. No, if you do me a favor, if you say you're voting for Trump, unfriend me right now. It's like, are you okay? Like vote for who you want. We can still treat each other civilly, And by the way, you don't have to treat everybody civilly, Fucking burn in a fire. See if I give any shit. You got to stop legislating it, because it I think you're headed down a path you don't realize, because you're all caught up in it. You know what I mean? You're all just like, we're going to the quad. Like, okay. And it's dangerous. It is dangerous. I don't think you should do it. We'll be back with more shows. We'll get this one up. We're back in town, baby. There'll be another hiatus if and when we do move to a new studio, but that will be a place, home that I own. And we should be done with that. And I know you might say, Patrick, when you started this in 2005, it was in a home you owned. Right. But that was in Florida. Nobody wanted to be there. Now we kind of want to be here. So probably we'll stick it out. Thank you so much. You've been a treat. And I wouldn't have it any other fucking way. Thank you.